So the question of the day is, will lone commie nutjobs bring change by assassinating CEOs? For the most part, I'm going to avoid naming this guy. Don't think he needs any more notoriety than he's getting. It's bad enough that I'm doing a video on it. It's not as much about him as the reaction he's getting. Now, it is kind of unfair for me to characterize the assassin of the United Healthcare CEO as a communist. I suspect most of his admirers calling for similar actions probably lean a lot closer to that camp than the man himself. I don't really think he had a functional ideology based on everything I'm looking at in terms of what he read and what he wrote. Now, the killer's actions do remind me a bit of the mindset of the late 1800s, early 1900s bomb throwing and assassinating anarchists. Now, the general idea of the anarchists of that era is that they wanted to see the end of large scale government, and they believed if they killed enough of, or the right kind of government officials, it would create openings for government free places, i.e., anarchy. The anarchists of that era were initially communists, thus the title of this video. They believed, the anarchists that is, originally the vision of Marx, where at the end of the communist rainbow, anarchist unicorns would frolic. Uh, However, after the first or second international meeting, most of the anarchists would break with Marx because they believed that, and correctly, I would say, they surmised that once the communists had their total dictatorship or total socialism, that no communist would be actually willing to give up or devolve power to reach anarchy. So, reading the Assassin's Manifesto leads me to believe that he was stupid enough to eventually arrive at communism. However, for the present, he merely believed killing a CEO would change the healthcare system in a way even he didn't seem to fully understand or be able to state. So, what did occur? So the more violent anarchist movement of the late 1800s, early 1900s, what did it achieve? Not much. It attended the Obviously it didn't get them what they wanted. It actually tended to consolidate government power as people reacted to the violence. One notable example is because of an anarchist bomb plot, it actually created the FBI. So basically, the anarchists of old did not get what they wanted. So, if lone commie hitmen decide to emulate this guy, will great change occur? Well, I think history's our guide. Not very likely. At least, not the change they have in mind. First, the act of explaining what he did and why he did it tipped his hand. Basically, the idea is he would terrorize CEOs until they bent to his will, whatever that might be, because you can't really discern what it is via his gobbledygook manifesto he wrote. No, by tipping his hand, essentially, CEOs will increase their security, which they probably already are in the process of, making it much harder for somebody to do something that simplistic ever again. If somebody gets close or actually does effectively kill another CEO, it'll just ramp up security even more because uh, if their choice is taking a cut in their multi-million dollar paycheck versus throwing a couple extra $100,000 into security, they're going to choose security. So the next moron doing a pedal by shooting is going to be more likely to kill some working class bodyguard rather than the CEO he's targeting. So if the loons on Blue Sky work themselves up enough to where they try more attempts, you will see a change on how leftist activities get funded in this country. At the moment, a lot of money ends up in leftist causes because of the way the tech CEOs look at things. However, if people start randomly lashing out at the CEOs, these guys are going to go and deeply analyze how these ideas spawn and propagate. The result will be they will end up defunding everything that contributes to that mindset and start dumping money into organizations, apps, and influencers who embody the exact opposite ethic. So by embracing this, and I understand if you've seen other videos, I do know what the modern anarchy movement is, and there was obviously divergence in the historic version of it that the more violent people, violent or anarchists, were participating in. So when I use anarchist, I'm talking about those people, not really the more current view of things. Uh, these anarchists are very likely to alter things in such a way that the things they count on politically will disappear, and basically counter organizations, people, and activities will replace them. So they will literally cause the exact opposite effect that they want. They will not get reform in the healthcare industry. They will not see capitalist CEOs drop their salaries, but they will see the things they uh, most love in society basically fall by the wayside due to lack of funding, and probably the things they hate rise because it is being funded. So, in the comment section below, have you been following this story at all? Do you think there's going to be copycats, or do you think it's pretty much all hot air? Please smash a like button. If the YouTube algorithms brought you here and you're not a regular subscriber, check out my other titles. I get into a lot of different things. There'll probably be something worth subscribing for. And if you know somebody who might find this interesting, please share it with them. Thank you for spending time with me this evening. Hope to see you again in a future video.